Now we're going to talk about the red meat and dairy category. In our nutrition plan, this is the sixth category. So what is the purpose of red meat and dairy in your nutrition? Red meat and dairy are first and foremost, they are the best foods to help you gain muscle. So they are the best foods that are going to help you put on muscle mass and to retain your lean muscle mass. Okay, so when we talk about red meats and dairies, one of the first things we want to make sure we talk about is quality. So if you can find better sources, things like grass-fed beef, or even better like wild game like buffalo, venison, things like that, those are going to be the best meats. For the dairy, if you can find grass-fed dairy, that's always going to be the best. If not, try to go at least with an organic dairy if possible. Okay. If not, we'll talk about some things that you can do. So quality is important. Another thing to keep in mind is that dairy is one of the very best foods to help you in the post-workout period to help you recover. So having a serving of dairy, like a yogurt or milk or cottage cheese or something like that, is going to be one of the best things you can do to help you recover after your workouts and also to replenish your muscles. Dairy also works very good in the evening before bed to help you to wind down and fall asleep at night. So people oftentimes will talk about drinking a warm glass of milk before they go to bed. It helps you to fall asleep easier. So that's some things that dairy can be used for. One of the big debatable topics when it comes to red meats and dairy is just the fat content in them. Okay, so a couple key points to remember when it comes to should you be eating high-fat dairy, low-fat dairy, and then what about the fats in meats and things like that. So with meats, one of the things I would tell you is if there's visible fat on there, you want to trim that off. The visible fat, the extra fats on there are not good for you, and if you could try to find leaner cuts of good meats, that's going to be better for you. So things like sirloin steak instead of a T-bone. Try to find leaner cuts like sirloin, flank steak, filet mignon would be some of the leaner cuts of red meats. When it comes to the dairy, one of the things to remember is that some of the fat in the dairy is actually good for you. It actually helps you to digest the dairy more effectively. One of the things that fats do is to help you to digest your food more effectively. So what we typically would tell people is to go in the middle. A lot of times we would tell them to go for like a 2% milk or yogurt or whatever it is that they're having with their dairy rather than the skim or the full fat.